Lockdown hair, lockdown hair. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's getting greyer and greyer. Lockdown hair. What can one do? When you're reopening hairdressers, it really doesn't matter, does it? Does it really matter? It's just here. It's hair. It's there. It's just hair. So there we go. Love your hair. Love your hair today. What am I going to talk about today? So, did I even say welcome to the Little Nun's Room? Have I said that yet? Welcome to the Little Nun's Room. It's Janine. Here I am, back in the room, feeling like I need to get out and about today. So here is what I'm going to talk about. I watched a film last night called Aloha. I've seen this film many, many times. Aloha is a comfort film, but also Aloha is actually very resonating for what is going on in the world right now. The film was made in 2016. It's got Bradley Cooper. It's got John Krasinski. It has Rachel McAdams and Emma Stone. Bill Murray's in it. Who else have I got? Alec Baldwin's in it. I mean, it's a stellar cast. The word stellar also has a link to what I'm going to talk about. So, not going to obviously give you any spoilers, but it's about space, and it's about sending things into space, not via government funding, but by private funding. Like, how resonant is that for right now? It starts off when they closed the space shuttle program. And Bradley Cooper was working for that program at the time in his character. And then he gets involved with some billionaire and ends up in all sorts of trouble. And that's all I'm going to say about that. During the film, it's set in Hawaii, hence the name Aloha, which is where the US Air Force Base is. And Bradley Cooper is asked to move a special gate that's on Hawaiian land, how can I explain I'm going to say the word indigenous, forgive me if that's not right, but the indigenous tribal leader or the king has to give permission for this to be done. So Hawaii is now under the state of US military. It's a US military state, but the king is still there ruling. Allowed, do I say the word? So the story's around race, around ethics, around humanity. It's an absolutely fantastic story because of what the amount that it actually it's so hard to explain. I'm just trying to think how I'd say it to friends if I was sat talking to them and wanted them to see it. How it's approached, it is hilarious. It has hilarious moments, especially between Emma Stone and Bradley Cooper. I mean, absolutely hysterical. There are moments of no words, the relationship between John Krasinski and Rachel McAdams, their marriage. There's no words. The understanding beyond words happens. The understanding of a culture that had their own land, but then was taken over by another culture by force. And now this culture is spending their time living under that, having to survive under that, and also fighting for their land, to get their land back that they had in the first place. It is so relevant for what is going on right now. It is so relevant to identity. It's so relevant to power. Yes, it's an American film, and yes, it's about America. But there, for me, I just see and feel the wrong in it. There's a lot of right in it, and there's a lot of wrong in it as well. And it's those wrong parts of a particular culture being dominated that gets me going like something like a demon possessed. So many years ago, when I was in Ecuador, living in Ecuador, I went into the cathedral at Quito. No, sorry, the beautiful Franciscan monastery in Quito, and I saw a picture of Franciscan friars baptizing the local indigenous people, and I nearly ripped that picture off the wall. It took everything in me, being a museum person, a heritage person, not to get that picture and smash it over the head of one of the busts of the friars that was in the same corridor. I didn't do that, but that's the feeling that it invoked in me. How dare anybody tell anyone else how to live their lives? We've already got enough restrictions and things with life going on. How dare anyone do that? It makes me so emblazoned and so angry, and that's very unlike me. If you know me, I'm not that kind of person. That I just can't deal with it very well. So, but it is one of the things that in my job, working in museums and working with all sorts of different cultures and people, that I'm able to open up conversations and pathways for understanding and creating relationships, new relationships. The other thing I want to say is that when I was in Ecuador again, I saw the Yasuni rainforest, which is one of the most beautiful, like, protective places in the world. They were drilling for oil at the time, and I remember just having again these feelings of what is going on. It's the same with the Pacific. When I flew to Australia, when I flew to New Zealand, I remember thinking, oh, the Pacific, this huge great ocean, it's amazing, like it's incredible, it's pure. No, it's been used for testing of nuclear. Sorry, but why do they do these things? All in the name of progression, all in the name of ownership, all in the name of ego. It just gets me. It's so wrong. And I know I live in a society that is privileged because of these things that have been acquired and attained. I'm talking as a privileged person here, but it is wrong and it needs to change. It needs to change. I've now got a debate with myself whether I'm going to post this today. Just watch the film. There are so many other films like it, but I mean, all these things are around us to watch, and they have the messages, and they're there, and they're fully there. It says it all. It's fantastic. And I love it because it makes me laugh as well, and it's so beautiful, and there's so many beautiful moments in it. But it has a message, and that message is strong, and that message needs to be heard. I'm so glad things are changing. I'm not advocating violence, but I'm advocating change. Anyway, if you like what you see, please subscribe, please follow The Little Nun's Room. And I promise it won't always be emotional like this, but sometimes I just need to get it out. I love you loads.